It's pretty bold to say that dogs, above all other domestic animals, are a man's best friend, right? You would think so if you knew that this friendship is backed by 32,000 years worth of companionship. Dogs have been around since we have, and they've been with us through it all. In spite of our long-standing friendship with them, there are several things that we don't know about our canine companions. For example, did you know that dogs can effectively see with their noses? You're not the only one. Today, we're taking a look at 10 cool dog abilities and explaining how they work. Grab your pet and get ready to be amazed at the exceptional skills they hold. Number 10. Seeing with their nose. Which one of the 5 senses do we humans make the most of? Undeniably, our eyes. Whether it's to unlock a memory, create a new one, or to help us identify a person, scene, or situation, we'll probably rely on our sense of sight above all else. What about dogs? Canines have weaker vision than we do. They might be better adapted to see at night, but their vision overall is pretty blurry. But this is by no means a handicap. Instead of relying on their sense of vision to see, dogs rely on their heightened sense of smell. For context, humans have 6 million olfactory receptors, whereas dogs have well over 30 million of them. They have larger olfactory areas of the brain that we do, allowing them to create a 3-dimensional model of their memories based solely on smell. Some researchers speculate that dogs might be able to pick up on infrared radiation using their noses, particularly the wet part of it referred to as the rhenium. While research is still being conducted on that, we know for a fact that dogs are able to use their heightened sense of smell to visualize their surroundings. Number 9. Emotional contagion. It comes as a secret to none. Dogs are highly sensitive to emotions. They'll pick up on our moods, they'll act accordingly, and they'll always know what to do. But that's just the thing. How do they always know what to do? Research has determined that canines feel a very basic form of empathy for humans referred to as emotional contagion. This means that they're receptive to our feelings, albeit at a smaller scale. The research determined that while no other domesticated animal and only primates in the wild could mimic human yawns, dogs could yawn whenever prompted. This meant that a dog shared a bond with a person yawning, and didn't just do so out of reflex. They'll sense shifts in our moods and then prepare themselves for our impending reactions. Plus, they'd also be able to manage their own reactions based on our emotions. For example, if your dog senses that you're sad, they'll probably come up to you and cuddle with you. If not, the very least they do is to not bother you for food until they can sense that you're in a better mood. Number 8, they know how to form a bond. For so long, we've assumed that humans have to be the one to initiate any bonding between them and their pets. We'll take them to training, doggy daycare, and go every mile, not just the extra one, to show them that we're trying to form a connection with them. However, your dog has been trying to make a connection with you too. Dogs are the only non-primate species that are able to maintain eye contact with humans. They use this to stare into their pet parent's eyes for long periods in a bid to stimulate oxytocin. And it works. Number 7, they can speak your language. Dogs can understand what you say to them. Alright, maybe they can't understand us entirely. However, dogs, dolphins, and parrots are among a specific category of animals that are able to learn words. Rico, a dog known for having memorized over 2,000 words, was able to do so because he followed the fast mapping technique. It's a technique scientists believe children follow when they're learning new words. They associate new words with what they already know, in effect, marking off what they know and then determining what the new word could be based on the knowledge that they have. In Rico's case, whenever the dog was presented with a new name, he didn't know what it was until he saw the pool in front of him and separated what he already knew the names of from what was familiar. Fast mapping then efficiently allowed Rico to determine what the new word was referring to. But Rico isn't the only dog who's capable of learning a few words from a language. Your dog could probably pick up on a word or two, although it might take some time. Number 6, Canine Meteorologists. You're living in a post-apocalyptic world, and you need to find a way to determine whether or not there's going to be a storm tonight. How would you determine that? Will Smith's character in I Am Legend probably had the right idea. You'll need your dog to sense changes in the barometric pressure for you to accurately determine whether or not there will be a storm tonight. Scientists know for a fact that dogs have the superhero ability to determine changes in the weather. How? That matter is still up for debate. Some theories suggest that dogs are able to detect changes in the barometric pressure, and others suggest that their supersonic hearing allows them to hear thunderstorms, lightning, and even earthquakes. Number 5. Pee passport. Have you ever wondered what compels your dog to pee all over everything every time they're out for a walk? There must be some reason to it, right? Well, there is. It has something to do with marking their territory and another dog's heightened sense of smell. When one dog marks their territory, they are effectively leaving behind their credentials for other dogs to find, such as the breed of the dog, the size, age, and personality of the animal. All this from just pee? You are absolutely right. Number 4. Inbuilt GPS. Your dog hasn't been home for a couple of hours, and while you're worried for their safety, you know they'll find their way back home soon. How can you be so certain of the fact? Because dogs have somewhat of an inbuilt GPS that helps them figure out their way back home. This GPS is centered around smell and sound. They smell areas that seem familiar to home and work their way from there. Or they could hear familiar voices from a distance and make their way back home. Number 3. Night vision. If you were to turn every single light off in your house, would you be able to make it from one room to the other without banging against any furniture? No. It takes time for the rods in your eyes to adjust to changes in brightness. This explains why it's harder to see at night when you wake up all of a sudden compared to when you've been up for a while. Dogs, on the other hand, do not need to adapt. They have a structure known as tapetum lucidum, which reflects back twice onto the retina, allowing them to see better in dim lighting. Their eyes act as torches. Number 2. Super speed. You would not want to be in a race against a dog. Trust us on this. Dogs have the ability to run at an average of 19 miles an hour, but can go up to 35 miles per hour if they're running in short intervals. The Greyhound, the fastest dog breed there is able to run at a maximum speed of 45 miles per hour. For context, humans can only run for up to 28 miles per hour. Number 1. They'll save your life. Dogs are now officially becoming an integral part of our healthcare system owing to their extraordinary contribution towards human health. Not only do they contribute to your emotional and mental well-being, but dogs are able to pick up on volatile organic compounds let out by the body during malignancy. They can also anticipate seizures and other ailments and try their best to help. Service dogs are becoming integral, and many people can be seen with a leash tied to their hip. Look over your dog right now. What superpower do you think they have? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe to INFORAMA, and we'll see you in the next one.